Hello everyone, today we're in the lovely city of Trento, Trent, Tridentium to the Romans who founded it in 23 BCE, to thank listener Peter W. Peter, thank you very much for all of your support. I hope you all enjoy the visit to Trento with me today. We start our tour at the Mura Vangiane, the walls built by Bishop Federico Vanga in the early 13th century. Taking a walk inside, we see how really impressive they look as we wander by quaint little cafes. As we head into the heart of the city, we're accompanied by a lovely band. Okay, so you may be familiar with a little thing called the Council of Trent. Well, the famous or infamous, depending on what side you're on, council started in that building back there in 1545. It was the reaction of the Catholic Church to the Protestant movement. We then take in this impressive cathedral from the inside, with perhaps its most characteristic element being the large side staircases. And then we head to the main altar. And of course, the dome up above. We then head out into the main square to get a side view of the cathedral, the Bishop's Palace, and of course the Torre Civica, the city tower. And let's not forget good old Neptune in his fountain. Inside the Bishop's Palace Museum, we take a look at the wonderful views of the mountains. In the museum, we come across a famous painting of the famous council, where they're all deciding how naughty those Protestants were. Then, of course, some personal PR of the bishop can never hurt. Here he is, adoring Jesus. But we must also remember nasty businesses like the plague and all that. Then it's time to test my wonderful puzzle skills. Really didn't know if I was going to pull that one off. Then it's time, after demonstrating our wonderful skills, to head into the beautiful gardens of St. Mark's Monastery on our way to the Buon Concilio Castle. These gardens hold a park for children as well as an ancient rose garden with some wonderful examples. And suddenly, in another corner of the gardens, we come across a maze. Do we dare to enter? That's easy. I can do that.
This is a message for my family. I can't get out. I don't know if I'll ever come home. I love you all so much.
In the end, I managed to survive and make it to the impressive Buon Concilio Castle, the Castle of Good Guidance, Buon Concilio. Here we see the main tower. This castle was home to the Bishop Princes of Trento for centuries. Here we see the internal courtyard with some nice frescoes left on the walls. And here the impressive view from the upper gallery. Here we really see how Trento was the gateway between Italy, down to the south, and up into Austria, to the north. Then, of course, we find traces of our good old mates, the Lombards. Then we settle down for a bit of light reading, before heading off to admire the internal chambers with the impressive ceilings. Never get bored here, just as long as you remember to look up. Out again on the other side to the beautiful internal gardens. And here are those same gardens as we approach them from the impressive entrance on the other side to where we were before. A little bit less picturesque are the small, cramped dungeons, which held many prisoners over the century, and perhaps most famously, the early 20th century Italian patriot Cesare Battisti, who was captured by the Austrians during the First World War, and then taken out to the back of the castle, where he was executed. As we head out to the other side of town, we see traces of good old Bishop Federico Vanga again, with the Torre Vanga, the tower that bears his family name. Across the river to the Muse, the Science Museum of Trento, which receives visits from families all over Italy. Then it's time for a spot of lunch with a couple of friends who come and visit me. While waiting to head up with the cable car. To catch some wonderful views of Trento from up above. Before heading off back home, hoping that you all enjoyed the visit to Trento today.